Well, thank you all so much for joining us for the Rick and Morty panel, and it is my pleasure to welcome onto the stage, first up, the voice of Summer Smith, Spencer Grammer, the voice of Rick Sanchez, Ian Cardoni, and the voice of Morty, Harry Belden. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming.
Hello and welcome.
I got to say, it's always a shock to me whenever I see the voice actors that bring these characters to life in person. So thank you all so much for joining us. Up top, I want to start with both you, Ian and Harry, because like you all are new to the franchise. So I really want to know, how does it feel being part of such a storied franchise that I'm pretty sure that you all started off as fans before you even got like the call?
That's right. Yeah, we were both big fans. Yeah. So jumping into it was like, I mean, you get the privilege of watching 6 seasons of amazing TV, and then you get the opportunity to maybe step into the shoes of that one of your favorite characters. So it was, I don't know, it's crazy. There's a lot of emotions with it, right, Ian?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we just wanted to make sure that we put our best foot forward and continued to tell the stories that we loved for all those years. So hopefully 100 years Rick and Morty, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, right?
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, that's right.
So I want to kind of, if you can, like tell us about like what was that audition process like for you two?
For me, it was about 6 months long. So
Okay.
that's a pretty long process. A lot of, send something in, wait for a while by the phone, not hear anything, and then, okay, all of a sudden there's, get ready to do it again. And, I was just getting closer and closer and then getting really excited about it. And then I didn't know what else was going on in the casting process. I didn't know Harry until we were already, I guess, halfway through the season. So they kind of kept us kind of isolated, but working really hard on getting those voices down.
Okay. Yeah. How about
They
you?
also had to do each other. They also had to do the opposite characters' voices as well.
Yeah.
Really?
Audition for both.
Yeah.
Okay.
They wanted to hear everyone's take on both characters, I think. Just, I assume, to cover their bases. Although I'm pretty sure their intention was always to have one person doing each voice.
And for you, Spencer, what was it like meeting both Ian and Harry? Like, were there like any chemistry tests that they did with you and the rest of the cast?
No, we didn't have any chemistry tests.
No chemistry tests?
We record individually anyway.
Okay.
So even though it seems really conversational and it seems like we're always talking to each other, we're actually just in a booth alone talking to ourselves. And then they just piece it together. The writing is so good and the way that they direct us is so good that it seems seamless.
Yeah. Now, Spencer, you've been a part of the franchise since 2013, so
Yes, I
you're
have.
an OG.
I am.
You are
Actually,
an
since 2011, when we did
2011?
the pilot. Yeah.
Oh my
So
goodness.
I've been playing Summer for many, many years, and it's been honestly an honor and a pleasure. You
Yes.
had a follow-up question, though. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I
yes,
interrupted
of
you.
course. I always do. Of course I do. But I really want to know, like, because you've seen the show change over the years. I'm kind of curious, what changes have you noticed, like, in, like, maybe the writing that has subsequently led to, like, the way you approach Summer? Also, like, I love summer episodes, I'm just going to say.
Thank you.
Those are some
Me
of my
too.
favorites. But
They're my favorite.
I would hope
Only 'cause
so.
No, I really enjoy playing the characters, so when I get an episode where I have a lot of lines, it's very exciting for me. I would say over the years that I've been on the show, it's changed in a number of different ways, but I think my most favorite change I've seen is really the evolution of all of the characters, and especially Rick. I think Rick's character has grown in so many significant ways, and it's what really resonates with, I want to believe, our audience that sees the show, because he's like a really dysfunctional, shitty dad. Excuse my language. There's like so many other kids here. Usually there's not a panel with the entire floor. This is wild. So I really love that he's done that, and then kind of like there's been a lot of growth in the family, and he's kind of had to take responsibility for the things that he messed up. And I think particularly in season 7, there was a lot of that in the season, which you guys have a lot of great episodes in season 7. I just have the Quado episode, but I really liked that.
Which is a favorite, I think.
One of
ours.
the best ones, yeah.
We really enjoyed that one.
yeah, and I definitely do have some episode-specific questions that I want to go over. Some of my favorite episodes. And also, just to let you all know, we will be opening things up to you all. So if you do have any questions, start thinking about them right now. I want to ask you, Harry and Ian. So I feel like you may have been at an advantage stepping into these roles because like these are pre-established voices. So I'm kind of curious, what was your approach when you got the gig and you're now I am Rick, I am Morty? Like, describe your approach, like how you're obviously honoring what we all know from the history of Rick and Morty, but bringing a little bit of your own like flair.
It's funny you say that it's an advantage because it definitely is. Like, but it's an advantage and a disadvantage because you're, the goal was to be sound alike, to be as seamless as possible. So, yes, we had the advantage of all of these previous episodes to watch and draw from and try to use as reference points. But then you're also, you're trying to hit that specific voice. So I think there's a little less wiggle room on how you say things and everything. And I mean, we were drilling hours upon hours with our vocal coach to get certain words right, to get certain pronunciations right. So in that way, we were really trying to focus on this one specific thing, that being the voice. But then after, for me, through the whole audition process, I was just like, oh, they want to hear me again? Okay, I'll do my best. Like, I will do my best job, and that's it, because that's all you can do as an actor, right?
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely a difference between where the voice started at the beginning of an audition process and where we ended up when it became our job to do it. And what passes for one or two lines as an impression or a party trick needed to be developed into something that we could repeat. Because, to listen to a line and say, oh, that sounds like what I heard on the TV is one thing. To be able to sustain that for several hours in each session, several sessions a week for an entire season, there's a different approach to it, both vocal health-wise, and Harry mentioned we had a great vocal coach who helped us through it.
Shout out to Amy Chapman.
Yeah,
Amy
absolutely.
Chapman, number one.
And I will say, even though we record on our own as actors, we're never truly alone. We do have great sound engineers, we have producers, writers sometimes, and our showrunner, director. So we have guidance and lots of really good ears along with us while we do this. And I think for me, yes, we have to hit that benchmark for the voice sounding seamless for the characters, but to honor the writing is the first thing, and these characters are on an amazing journey, like you said. So as long as we're true to the characters, that's the goal.
I think you guys honestly I think everyone essentially has like the essence of the character inside them, Like you've got a little spiciness.
As I take a drink.
It's like,
what's inside of that bottle, Andy?
Yeah, right.
Harry's
It's a
got this sort of like innocent, wide-eyed, also, but like the best dad jokes you've ever heard in your life. Like it's endless. It's endless. Yeah, it's pretty wonderful.
Kind of annoying at times. Yeah.
I'm still waiting on the impression of me that you guys need to start doing. So
we got a lot of
work on
on our summer voice.
It's like a timbre, it's like a feeling.
Now, what's the fan reception been like with you all stepping into the role as Rick and Morty in season 7? Because I feel like, as a fan of anything, and of course I'm speaking as a fan of a bunch of stuff as well, I feel like we definitely are very we're very particular. And we're very, I would say, somewhat demanding, but it's only because like these are characters that we've seen throughout the years, and they hold a special place in our hearts. So I'm kind of curious, what's the fan reception been like for you two?
Can I just say one thing? I just want to be like, it's a little spicy, a little sweet.
a little
spicy, a little sweet.
That's all you need to say.
It's a little bit like the spaghetti stuff.
Yeah.
All
you
you
had
to say.
Spicy,
Talk about a perfect
sweet.
answer.
I mean, certainly at places like LA Comic-Con, where we're actually meeting the fans, and all of you here, it's overwhelmingly positive, and it's great to see so many fans of the show out here. It's great to meet you all. So thank you for being here, first and foremost.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, give yourselves a round of applause.
Yeah.
And I will also say that we started off as fans. We love these characters. Nobody's going to be more particular than us when we're trying to get this right. And we've got some great adventures, again, in the future seasons, so we're very excited about that.
100%.
Spencer, have you been able to help them kind of acclimate to the fandom a little bit since, you've been a part of it for a while?
What do you guys think? I think I've been like put you guys under my wing, brought you in,
Yes.
taught you the ropes of how to do a panel.
Spencer has been the best.
kidding.
She's been she has.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and all jokes aside, I will say the cast and the whole crew, but our fellow castmates, the Smith family, have been incredibly supportive. So you and Sarah and Chris have just been incredibly supportive as we stepped into these roles, and so we love them.
I mean, I'm incredibly grateful because I think you guys have brought a different side to these characters that we were needing to see. So I'm very happy that we're still doing the show, you know?
I think we're all really happy that we're still doing the show, right?
I know, and it'll only get better and better, and the writing only gets better. We're waiting for season 8 to come out soon-ish. I don't know when we're announcing that. But then, you know, we have 2 more seasons at least, so there's so much more to look forward to. And after that, we don't know, but we're hopeful.
Yeah, well, let's talk about season 7. I really want to break that down because I have a few episodes that are my favorite. Some of my favorite episodes are the ones where it's like 2 diametrically opposed characters are kind of like joined together, be it mostly physically, it seemed, especially in season 7. So I want to start with episode 7.
That's my episode,
yes,
right?
Wet
Oh,
Quat,
great,
a Mordican
amazing.
Summer.
Tell me.
Love that title.
We love it.
So this, of course, featured Morty as a Quado. Now, if you don't know
Yeah.
what a Quado, do we know what a Quado is?
Everybody knows what a quado is, right?
Yeah, have we all
These
opened our
people over
minds
here
to
know
figure out
what
what?
Quados are.
Yes.
Do you guys know over here? Oh,
There we
all
go.
I don't know, maybe it might be
They're
louder
Googling
back
it right
there.
So I'm kind of curious, what were your thoughts when you read that script, and also were you familiar with that scene in Total Recall?
I know the scene in Total Recall.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of that movie. I mean, I like that kind of stuff, but it's not. I'm more like into weird, darker stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
But I was just excited to be able to play Summer in sort of like a, you know, more of a romantic way. Like she's just trying to like get her love life on a little bit, trying to find herself. So I had a lot of coloration and kind of the intentions and acting in that episode, which I think was my favorite. Plus, yeah, when you're putting 2 characters together like Morty and Summer and you're trying to play off of each other, it's great. It gave me so much to work with. Like I got to do, I imagine like there's like superheroes Summer, there's, you know, action movie Summer, there's like romantic comedy Summer. So I got to do all those things there. There's like awkward, nobody likes me, I'm in high school kind of Summer, which is predominantly how I feel most of the time. You know, but that I really loved that episode. And there's just like a bunch of weird stuff in there, you know.
Yeah, lots of weird stuff. Now,
Yeah.
I feel Harry though. I feel like you really had to carry that episode a little bit. I mean, like you had to bring nuance to just
your
3
mind.
words.
Dude, and I had to memorize all those lines in that
Yeah.
episode, you know.
How are you able to do it?
It was open your mind.
Yes,
yeah.
yes, open your
Yeah,
mind.
Oh,
Yeah.
they want to hear it.
Open your mind. You know, we did go through. I've had this question where like, oh, did you just record that once or whatever? You know, we literally went through just like if it was any other line. We went through every spot in the script, and I had like written out all of my like I took the script and I
Actions.
wrote. Yeah, I was like, okay, what's Morty actually saying here? He's not saying open your mind. What's he saying? So I went through that, and you know, I thought that was kind of a fun little homework assignment to do, and it was just so absurd. Like,
Yeah.
you know, we spend like 3 hours recording an episode or whatever, and this one was the same way, but just the exact same line over and over. I mean, Morty has a few normal lines in that episode, but it's like 80% open your mind. So it was just like it was almost like a fun acting exercise.
I honestly, one of my favorite episodes, and also before that episode, in episode 5, we saw Rick Prime Quado, which is when we were.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I have to ask this question: what's the obsession that the writers seem to have with, I guess, that particular scene? Do y'all know?
Dude, I asked the exact
Yeah,
same
yeah.
thing.
What's going
Have to
on?
ask them, yeah.
I think it must just be like, you know, like also there was the Vat of Acid episode. So I think there's just like
Yeah.
a reference to like 80s, early 90s movies and the influence it had sort of on our, you know, and also that episode where there's no talking and Morty has the girlfriend and he keeps killing off different versions of himself. And that was inspired by Alive, you know, that movie Alive, which I'm still kind of obsessed with. I think I saw as a child and, you know, and then there's like the show Yellow Jackets, which also was obviously influenced by the movie Alive or the book, you know. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
You know the references, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Some of you know. 2 people know what I'm talking about. Everyone needs to see more movies, I think. We need to get you out there.
Yeah.
For late 90s, early 90s, late 80s. Yeah.
I mean, I've had to up my game too, just because there are so many of those little Easter eggs and references.
Yeah.
That I pick up a script and there's all kinds of hidden little references. So yeah.
Yeah. I wanna hang on episode 5 because this was the episode where Rick finally gets his revenge on Rick Prime. I want to know from you all what are your thoughts on that particular episode, and also where do you think this might place Rick moving forward into season 8? Because this was a long-running, you know, I mean, this is arch nemesis. This was just a long-running story arc, and we finally see it conclude. in that episode?
Well, the first thing I'll say is, we have the entire multiverse as our sandbox to play in. So this is by no means the end to where the adventures can take Rick. And there's also, as you mentioned, the emotional side of Rick that we're going to continue to explore, I hope, as we move into future seasons. But that was a very climactic episode and a lot of fun to record. I think, for me, when I think of On Mort Rickon, I'm thinking of all the tricks that I needed to use to get the sound of the blood in the mouth and the punching and the sound of a tooth falling out, that sort of thing. So I had all manner of bottles of honey and fruit leather and potato chips and just all kinds of things that I was just cramming into my mouth while getting those lines out, just to give the sound of agony. And I even have a page of that script that still has little chunks of whatever spit out of my mouth when I was doing those lines, just as a little souvenir. But
yeah, we're auctioning that off later. Actually,
he signed it. We've all signed it. Actually,
but it was a very vocally demanding episode because it was an emotionally demanding episode, and definitely one that was really fun to kind of sink my teeth into with the writers, doing certain rewrites and getting excited about where this could go. So I don't know. Did you guys like On Mort Rickon? It was pretty. Yeah, thank
How
you.
about On Mort Rickon, right?
Yeah, don't want to spoil, if you haven't seen it, but it was definitely a memorable one from season 7 for sure.
Absolutely. And also in that episode, we saw Evil Morty. Evil Morty returns.
Oh yeah.
Now in possession
Evil Morty's
of the.
my favorite. I want
Me
always
too.
want more Evil Morty.
He's the best.
He's got a great theme song.
Yeah.
He's got
really
a great eye
killing
patch.
It,
Now he's got
like blonde
a
red
device that could possibly kill off people across the multiverse.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'm not spoiling anything. I hope everyone's caught up.
Oh, they've seen it, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
No,
You guys over here are winning. There's like the number
Yeah.
one fans over here. You guys are
Evil
just
Morty.
love it.
yeah. I was so stoked when I saw that I was gonna get to play Evil Morty
Yeah.
in my first season doing it. I was like, what? Like, this is so great. It was, and like, yeah, what a great episode. Like, I don't know. I felt so spoiled that we got to dive right in and do this crazy episode. And I was like, this is in the middle of the season? Like, what?
Yeah.
I couldn't
Yeah.
believe that. Like, so many great, I don't know. It was fantastic. I had so much fun doing it. It was my favorite episode to record by far.
Yeah, that's good to hear. I mean, that was one of my favorite episodes in season 7. I was going to ask you a very nerdy question. Do you think Evil Morty will be a bit of a threat in season 8? And do you think he even has anyone that he could utilize that Omega Drive on?
Do I think he has? Sorry, the second. Do I think he'll be a threat? And then what'd you say?
Yeah, a threat in season 8.
Yeah.
Now
well,
that he has possession of the Omega
can't
Drive.
tell you.
Right. Well, obviously can't say anything about season
I
8.
know.
But I mean, look, if you look at it logically, yeah, he's got all this power now. He's the one in charge. I think. What couldn't that lead to, right? I don't know. Maybe he'll be happy just being able to finally retire now that he truly doesn't have anything to worry about. It seemed like that's what he wanted. So, who knows, right?
Yeah.
But he could not. That's the fun part. You never know.
Well, there is another season, so we'll find out, hopefully. Okay, so I want to talk about episode 2, the Jarek Trap.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got we were
Jaricki.
introduced to Jaricki. I'm really curious about, that's a funny name, just saying Jaricki. Now, I want to know, your thoughts on that episode, and what technique did you use to simultaneously speak alongside Chris Parnell? Like, were y'all in the same room, or did y'all do that separately? Like, how did that work?
Yeah, so all of his lines were already recorded and in the pretty much ready to ship cut of the episode by the time I stepped in to record that one. This was, if I'm remembering correctly, this episode they had me record a sample of as part of the audition. So it was the first glimpse into season 7 that I got, and then it was the first episode that we recorded when I started for the whole season. So the Jaricki episode will always hold a special place in my heart because it was my entry into recording for Rick, and to see it kind of almost ready to go, and then have to do Rick over what was there. It was a pinch me moment for me because I'm such a fan of Chris Parnell for so many years, and I had to just listen to his voice and then just as best I could get the timing right. And it's also a slightly different voice too for that, because the way that they wrote this episode was really challenging to step into, because it wasn't just being Rick, it was Rick with a part of Jerry. So the lines were written with a cadence and the life of Jerry as well. So it wasn't just taking on Rick for my first recording. It was a combination of these characters. But really, it was just sort of, I can't believe I'm recording alongside my heroes, the people that I've watched for so many years. So that was just, that was really fun. And I love the episode. It's definitely a favorite of mine just because it's so funny and fun and ridiculous. And I hope they make a Jericky Funko or something because that would be really cool.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Now we mentioned some of our favorite episodes, but I want to know all-time favorite episode in season 7 and why. Starting with you, Spencer.
What?
All-time favorite episode in season 7
in
and why.
In season 7?
Yes.
I like the spaghetti episode.
Spaghetti episode?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that was a good one.
That's my favorite. It's just so dark and weird, and I really just enjoyed all of it. It made me cry, but also be creeped out and, want to eat spaghetti.
That one also made me hungry. I think by the end of it, the fear hole episode was that just gets me right in the feels. So every time, a lot of really great Diane moments and emotional Rick moments. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, same fear hole. I can't. Man, I probably recorded that episode the most, and yet still when I watched it for the first time, I immediately rewound it and watched it again. And I don't normally do that with a lot of things. So I just there's something about that episode, and I knew what was going to happen, and I was still watching and I was just like, I can't believe this. It's so good. It's such good writing. It's such good, the thing, what all of these characters are going through, especially Morty, I could watch that episode over and over again. It doesn't get old.
I will also say when we did pickups and re-records, it felt a lot like just continuously coming out of the hole again and again and again, just in real life, because we had to keep going back to it and re-recording different versions of those moments. So that was kind of funny.
Yeah, it was a great episode. I'm glad I wasn't a part of it, but you all capped season 7 off with that particular episode. I mean, we got the big, climactic, defeat of Rick Prime, episode 5. It was nice to kind of end on that particular note. So this year, I want to shift gears a little bit. We got Rick and Morty the anime.
Yeah.
Are we fans of Rick and Morty the anime? Oh wow. I don't know how to interpret that response.
I don't know if I'm even allowed to comment, but it was a little strange.
My question is going to be what are your thoughts on the Rick and Morty anime in comparison to the original show, because it's tonally different,
I have one interesting thing about it is there was always this dream, right, that Dan and Jester would talk about consistently, that eventually Rick and Morty lives on beyond the show that we make, right? And I think there's always was this talk that they were going to do an anime, and that it could exist in multiple universes and through the eyes of other people's artistic interpretation of it. So for that, I think it's incredibly interesting to have taken a show that's iconic, that's world renowned, and famous in lots of ways, and then let it kind of have its own life beyond the show itself, which kind of reflects the idea of what the show is trying to talk about in general, that maybe life is eternal, maybe we will forever be existing in energy, and that creativity is forever in the hearts and the minds of those who love it, right? So there's something beautiful in that, but was it successful? I mean, successful is relative in terms of how you view art, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean,
the most political comment I could make, by the way.
I think, look, anything that grows the show, that grows the fan base, that experiments, I think is a good thing for the fans and for the show that we work on. But beyond that, I can't really comment on the anime because it was a different production team entirely. It was not the voices. We didn't really have anything to do with it. We were too focused on getting season 8 out on time, hopefully. So that that was where our focus was on this. But I think it's great that Rick and Morty is expanding in the multiverse. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. I'm sure there's going to be a few people out there that haven't seen Rick and Morty that decide to watch the Rick and Morty anime, and if that makes a couple, Rick and Morty fans, anime or original series, then great, mission accomplished, right?
Is there anyone who likes the anime better than the Rick and Morty series? Okay.
Okay.
Well,
you're just saying that.
Exclusively,
I
they're
think-
nah, never mind.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. Just to add a little more political answer onto that, it's a dream to be a part of something this big that we can have this
100%, yeah.
conversation in and of itself is. is kind of a real gift that, you know,
It would
this.
have been so cool though to like do. It would have been cool if they'd asked us if we'd wanted to do the voices, you know, like anime style. That would have been fun.
That would be fun.
You know, because it's different than because I think what Rick and Morty really did at that time was made it, animation super conversational and very like easy to understand and grasp in the way that it was almost like a multicam comedy. From you know, it wasn't as performative as other animations are. So. It would have been cool to like work in a universe where we weren't being so casual. We were doing like a little bit more of a heightened.
Has an almost improvisational tone.
Yeah. It's cool, you know, it's casual.
Yeah, exactly. It's like super cash, you know.
You all answered that question phenomenally.
Thank
And
you.
so did y'all with the silence.
Thanks.
Well, yeah, y'all fans of the
Have
anime?
jobs later. We
my-
love you, Adult Swim. We love that you're so creative. It's true.
Yeah.
Now, my final question before we toss things off to the fans in the crowd: what are you most excited for fans to experience in season 8 of Rick and Morty? I know you
Harry.
can't.
How do you answer that?
Go into details. I know
All
specifics.
right, so here's
but-
what happens in season 8. I don't know. There's
Every
dude.
phone comes
What I've been telling people is if you liked season 7, then you're gonna love season 8. I mean, honest. Season
It's
7
really
is my
smart.
favorite season, even outside of working on it. I think it's the best season so far. I think
Okay.
8's gonna top it. I really do. I think it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I always have usually one big episode, so that'll happen again this year, maybe.
It's better.
So yeah, which is fun. You know, I like doing those.
The show has a very bright future. We'll leave it at that.
Oh, yeah, I like that. I like that. All right. So, do we have any questions for our cast here in the crowd?
No, one question, two questions.
All right. I
Three,
see
four.
Oh, we got. I see,
Five,
Some,
see
some
some
six.
hands
hands.
up.
Yeah.
Should we go in the front?
One right here. Hi.
The guy in the
made
glasses
the-
right there with
yeah.
the hat. I don't. Do we have? I think we
Do we
have
have mics for
people
them?
running with mics.
Wait, do you
I
guys
do believe
need
we
microphones?
have someone with a mic
Wait.
right there. Yeah, we have someone going over there. Spencer, you're
we
good.
got. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'll
don't-
also
You're
do
good.
sound.
I don't
Don't
want you
worry
to
about
fall.
it.
Summer takes over.
Hey guys, I'm just trying to work the room, you know.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Hi, my name is Kai Sato, and I'm director of the Rick and Morty shorts. Have you ever seen the Samurai and Shogun? It's my short. Yeah.
Yeah, he made the anime. This is.
Yeah.
What?
I was gonna, cause he told me he was coming, and I was like, I meant to
No.
DM him.
Yeah.
It's so
Hi.
nice to finally
Oh
meet
my
you.
gosh.
It's
Not
true
question,
though.
but
But the anime was very cool. It's in Japanese originally. You know, when
Yeah.
they dubbed it in English, it would have
Thank
been.
you so much. Thank you. Yeah, not question, but I watching your new casting of the Rick and Morty. It's great job. It's amazing.
Thank you very much.
Oh my
Thank you
gosh.
so
means the
much.
world.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, I have to say.
Thank you so much.
I'm so honored. This is crazy.
Come say hi afterwards, please.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
We'll
Thank
see
you.
you after. That's wow. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Thank you so
you.
much.
I was like, wait,
How
that's
cool.
the guy that
How
I know
cool
on
is that?
Instagram.
Yeah.
But Instagram can be an amazing tool, to be honest, to know people all over the world.
Now, I
Thank
think
you
we
for
have.
coming.
I think we have someone here with the green hat. Did you have a question? Okay.
Is there a chance in season 8 that we get to see more of the Rick Quado that we saw at the end of the Quado episode?
I don't know.
I cannot.
You know we
speak
can't
to
say
any
anything
specifics
like
about
that.
season
but
8.
you'd like to see him, is what you're saying.
Open your mind.
Open your mind. Open it.
All right, we have a question right here. Sir with the glasses doing this with his fingers in the air.
So obviously you guys are phenomenal voice actors. Thank you for all you've done. But is there any other show you would like to do that isn't Rick and Morty? Like any other like The Simpsons or any other dream show? Like even just a guest for one episode?
I really want to do The Simpsons, but I want to play Sideshow Bob's like illegitimate daughter.
Oh.
I'm just gonna keep saying it until they write the episode and give it to me. So I'm like, yeah, I want to be here, and I also take on killing Bart. You know, like I'm like, die Bart, die, I'm coming for you.
I feel
But
like
it's basically
Bart.
just Summer, but I don't even know what I'd look like. I'd probably have big, crazy red hair. You
You
know.
don't think she would fall in love with Bart, maybe?
Oh, I could be Bart's girlfriend.
Okay.
Yeah, and it would be like a really tragic ending because I'd still have to try to kill him at the end of the day because I have to avenge my father, you know? Anyway, that's what I want. That's my dream. So if anyone knows anyone at The Simpsons who wants to make that happen, or just write the episode, I'm down to do it for scale, please. or for free.
How about you, Ian?
Simpsons. I mean, yeah, that would be fun.
Wait, but could it be a Halloween like a horror episode? Like that's the one I really want. Those are my favorite ones.
Treehouse of
I'm
Horror.
really
I would love
excited.
to-
That's
yeah,
what I
Treehouse
really
of
want
Horror.
to do. Treehouse of Horror.
It was announced that there might be a new Ghostbusters animated. It was announced somewhere that might be a thing.
He's a really big
And I'm
Ghostbusters
a very
fan.
big Ghostbusters fan, so if there's
Huge.
room for me in something like that, I'm just going to put it out there to LA Comic-Con and everybody dressed as a Ghostbuster that I would like that. Great franchise.
Okay, all right.
I want to play a superhero in something, man. I don't care what it is.
He wants to be Batman.
Batman.
He really wants to be
ideally
Batman.
You could be like Robin.
Then Superman, then Spider-Man. That's the order that I will accept roles. I love superheroes. I'm a super huge superhero geek. So like in any format, in any medium, please let me play Batman.
Harry, I
Please
feel like
let
you
him
might
play
be-
Batman so he stops
So I
talking
stop
about it
talking
all
about
the
it.
time.
It's
You don't
my
think you'd be?
Ghostbusters.
You don't think you'd be more of a sidekick though? I mean, like if it.
Oh.
It was a question. I asked a question. That's
I don't
all.
need a Robin or to be a Robin. Nah, hey, dude, I said any. I'll take anything.
Okay.
I'd play Robin.
I think you'd be a great Robin.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
I want to be Catwoman. If
Oh,
can we do
yes.
this? Can we do we're just gonna do this for Halloween now. We're just gonna
Yeah,
dress
I
up
think
like
we
this
got
for
our
Halloween
costumes
together.
figured out.
I'm still going to be a Ghostbuster though, so have fun.
All right. Do we have any other questions from the crowd? All right. I see a few hands.
There's a couple here.
Yeah, we got a few.
Any,
Let me go with you, sir, with the weekend badge. Yeah. Ghostbusters shirt. Oh, is that Ghostbusters? Yeah.
Yeah, Ghostbusters. Yeah. So my question's for Spencer.
Oh, yeah.
So
Hi.
you talked about like how you had like all these like different summers and everything like that. Is it possible for a future season where we can get Summer having an adventure as a barbarian with a musical playing troll?
Oh, I love that you guys love the Barbarian and the Troll is like this thing. I wish that would be amazing. That was this puppet show that I did the voice for Brendar, who's a barbarian. And it's oddly so popular. The people who were in charge of it have left and gone to other studios, and so it kind of doesn't have any, I don't know where it's going, but I keep hoping we might be able to get it a second season of some kind. But thank you for bringing that up. Maybe. It would be fun. We did that episode where we had the inner monologue, where we had those this was before your time, but where, we're talking, I'm doing like a voiceover for the entire episode, right? I think it's the Go-Go-Tron.
Gotron, yeah.
The Go-Tron episode, right? It would be funny if we had just like a bard, like a what's that TV show that I like with that hug? I don't know, I can't remember.
I'm sorry.
We need a musical. I don't know. We need it would be really fun to have something like that for sure. That kind of influence.
Glee? What? Now I'm trying to think of what show.
I'll remember. My brain just had an idea, and then I was like, "What is the name of it?" And I couldn't remember. It's fine.
Awesome. Do we have any other questions? All right. I see you right there. You're holding the phone. Right there. Yeah.
Hi, thank you all so much for being here. Love all of you. You're so great. I love science fiction, and I love all the sci-fi parts of Rick and Morty. And you already mentioned some of them, but do you all have a favorite piece of sci-fi media?
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you count Star Wars as sci-fi?
The Fly.
Oh shit.
Yeah, for sure. Like Cronenberg, everything is my favorite.
Good choice.
Yeah, I kind of already named mine. I guess my big one.
Yeah.
But what were you gonna say?
Oh, yours is just Ghostbusters.
Well, I guess I don't want to recycle the answer.
I feel
but
like
come
also
back
Back
me.
to the Future.
Yes.
I mean, yeah,
we can't
it's
deny
our
that Back
show's
to the Future is not slightly
derivative of that.
connected to
Yeah,
our
yeah,
show
yeah,
at
yeah,
all.
yeah.
It's
Yeah, that's a
very
good one. Yeah.
Rick and Morty.
Oh,
you know?
I'm also, I love Star Trek
Hand
too.
in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Morty.
Big Star Trek guy.
I love sci-fi. I love Star Wars.
Star
I
Trek.
love
Star Wars.
I
yeah.
just Star Wars. I did just go through all the audiobooks of the Expanse series,
Quantum
which I
Leap.
thought was really fun. Quantum Leap, yes.
Also one of my favorites.
Really cool concept. I love, it's just the sci-fi element of Rick and Morty is one of my favorite parts as well. So I'm big fan.
The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai was formative for me as a youth.
You know,
I didn't see that.
there's a couple of DeLoreans here. We got to get y'all in them.
Okay.
Just-
Let's
yeah.
get into
Yeah.
DeLorean.
I think we need some.
There's a
Yeah.
couple of DeLoreans here. I
Pour
saw
one
at least
over,
two.
yeah.
So
That's great.
Do we have time for questions? More questions? A few more questions? Do we have?
No,
Thanks so much for your questions, by
Yeah,
the way.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Great to
they're
hear
all
from you
great
all. It's awesome.
there's
Yeah.
just a couple guys back there.
We got Doc Brown. Is that Doc Brown right there?
I had a question for Harry. Will Morty and Jessica ever get married for the upcoming episode in season 8?
Will Morty and Jessica ever get married in season 8?
Specifically.
Specifically in season. Well, I mean, look, I can't say anything specific about season 8, but I mean, I don't know. I think we all kind of want Morty and Jessica's endgame, but you never know. 100 years, a lot can happen. So I don't know. I can't really say anything concrete on that.
Would Rick officiate that wedding, I wonder?
I don't think he'd be down for that. I think he'd consider it a waste of time. But come on.
Do you take Jessica for 100 years
Yes,
forever?
yes.
All right.
Say yes.
Great, then go do your thing, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know.
So that was a preview of season 8. What we just got.
Maybe.
Not.
So it was,
It was, this isn't canon. Yeah.
All right. I think we have time for maybe 2 more questions.
Just try to come, if you can move up this way so they can get the microphone to you if
what's
you
that?
want. Or if people want to move up towards a little so they can get the microphone
Yes.
to you.
If there's people that are in the back that kind of have questions, you can find your way to the front. Let's go with you. Yeah.
Hi, first of all, I wanted to say I love your show. Literally,
you.
it's
Yeah.
so much fun. I watched it with my boyfriend throughout the entire summer. It was amazing. I just have a question. So I know a lot of voice actors go through like certain things to try and get in the headspace of their characters. Do you guys have anything that you do like that?
What to do to die today in a minute or two to do a thing distinctly hard to say and harder still to do. For the beat at 2 at 20 to 2 with the rat to and the dragon will come when he hears the drum in a minute or two till 2 today. A minute or two till 2. We do a lot of exercises for
Nerds.
for voice and speech stuff so that we sound okay when we do it, and breathing exercises. But to get in the headspace of the character, and for me now, it just sort of lives there. Although usually you'll have like for accents is when I use it more. Like you'll have a phrase that's your like intro phrase to it.
Yeah, there's like certain trigger phrases that I come back to in a
Yeah, you
session.
guys have those.
Caribbean Queen, written by Hugh Jackman, age 16.
You got it too. So
I've heard him
there's
say that
all
a lot.
Sorts of
warm-ups and things, and
yeah.
What is it? Say it again.
Caribbean Queen, written by Hugh Jackman, age 16.
Oh, jeez, Rick.
Oh, jeez, Rick.
That was torture. Thank you. That was
His is just oh geez, Rick. That's how
pretty
he gets
much.
into the
Yeah, no,
character.
actually, yeah. How I get into character is, I find things that Morty annoys me about, and then I just think about those for a while and stew in it. Yeah.
It's easy for him.
What about you? What's your process? I know your process, and I want you to do it for them.
Yeah, do all my whole thing.
Your lip trills that we hear down the hallway at any hotel.
Yeah, he does a lot of warm-ups.
If you're staying in the hotel room next to me at a convention or something, you'll just hear like for like 25
At
minutes.
7 a.m.
Yeah.
Authorities have been called.
After I've done my vocal steaming, which hydrates my vocal folds, do that, do my physical warm-ups. I use a Hypervolt version 2, and then I use that all over my body. I stretch my whole body. I do my vocal warm-up that I got from my BFA theater program. So it's like a whole thing.
Did you know he was Did
you know
the lyric?
Shut up! Shut up!
No, he's.
the lyric?
I'm also an actor who takes my work seriously.
Yes.
I have a process.
I don't go out
It's
the
just
night
proprietary.
before.
I don't like to give it all away.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just sort of take our work seriously. That's
Yeah, it's our job.
Oh, you gave us a lot.
Thanks for the question.
Yeah.
We had fun with that one.
All right, so I think we have time for one more question.
Yes.
Who has the final question?
Final question.
Let's
Going once.
see.
Going twice.
You with your
Going-
hand up. I'm trying to use
This guy back
descriptors.
there.
Hand up with
He's got
the
a
shirt.
greenish shirt with suns on it.
That's it. Yeah.
It's a Super Mario Sunshine
or
shirt.
or
I'm
what
sorry.
is it? Oh,
Super-
yeah, they're stars.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay, got it. Sorry.
My question for you guys, well, as voice actors, what do you think is, what's a bit of advice that you have for just like starting off in voice acting? Like, what do you think helped you the most?
Yeah. I mean, I just say be a great actor first. You know, that's kind of how it starts, and then just learn all the accents you can, and like take care of your voice, and like practice and work on emotionality, the coloration of your voice. Listen to operas and cry and laugh, and yeah, just try everything.
Do those lip trills that Harry
Yeah,
was
that's
just
all
doing,
you
yeah.
need, actually. I just gave you everything you need right there.
No, yeah, voice acting is so much listening. So and it's an active listening exercise, and so listen to all kinds of media. Voice is everywhere and in everything. So it's not just animation; it's everywhere. It's in our world. So really listen, and you can kind of mockingbird it, repeat it. But then, if you have any voices of your own that are just an original character, maybe you drew or you just have in your imagination, just work on that and you know, create some backstory for them. And then eventually, when you feel comfortable, record that to a demo reel, send it to someone who might want to listen. You never know who's listening or what they're looking for. So just develop those original voices inside yourself. You never know when they're going to come out.
Yeah, but like Spencer said, voice acting is acting. So just act and do whatever acting you can, and you know, and then it'll. Yeah, all those other techniques you just layer on top of it, and it'll all come through. And do your lip trills.
And you know, entertainment's a really easy business too. So just you'll be fine once you go.
Just get your foot in the door.
But seriously, best of luck, because you know you never know without trying. You just gotta put your best foot forward and do your work. Yeah.
I mean, we always said. I mean, the joke that I always say about acting in general is like it's just honestly a war of attrition. Like, the longer you stay dedicated to it, the more work you put into it, and the harder you work at it, eventually people just give up, and you are still there. So you just have to keep going and keep trying and put in your 10,000 hours and just go. Yeah. You know, I never stopped reading about acting. I never stopped taking acting classes. I never stopped trying to build myself up as a person in so many more ways than just acting, because you get the opportunity to play all kinds of roles and experience life through so many different perspectives. It's truly one of the most healing art forms, I believe.
And do it because you love it, because that's what's going to sustain you through it all. Because it is a tough business.
Yeah, you got to be happy while you're doing
it.
Right. Otherwise, what's the point?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Best of luck.
Thanks for the question.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for more insight on Rick and Morty, and thank you all so much.
Everybody.
Give it up for Rick and Morty. Please give it up.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much, LA Comic Con.
Thanks for coming
We
out,
got
everyone.
plenty more ahead of you. Stick around.
Thank you.
Wait, no, I left my